Welcome to the Greenway Outdoors podcast. The Greenway Outdoors is also an internationally syndicated TV show on Pursuit Channel and Wild TV. You are now tuned into our weekly podcast hosted by executive producer Kyle Green, production coordinator Jeff Hutchinson, director AJ Beadle, and creative producer Ryan Parks. We live in a world where our natural resources are almost solely protected by funds raised by hunters and fishermen. With over 60% of those funds coming from white males over the age of 55, the Greenway Outdoors team has set out on a mission to create content that would inspire millennials, Generation Z, and new sportsmen and women to get out, hunt, fish, and contribute towards conservation and the betterment of our planet. Welcome to the Greenway Outdoors. Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Greenway Outdoors podcast. I'm Kyle.
I'm Jeff.
I'm AJ.
I'm Ryan.
Likely story.
You always have to say something
Every time.
Every time we introduce ourselves, he's got to say something dumb.
Yeah, that is his real name.
Today, we're actually going to talk about a few different topics.
No, we're not. Number one, we're going to talk about the phone call that I just had prior to walking in here.
Whoa.
And that is...
He has one phone call, and now we all have to praise Jeffrey. He did a little work.
Bow down.
Go ahead. I'll wait. I spoke to Tom from Swamp Apes, which is the guy who's taking us out.
Hold on. Stop right there.
Sounds like a species
I
of
told you
Bigfoot.
what there was. There's a guy named Tom, and he is from Swamp Apes. That is
quite the
nonprofit.
It's a talent agency. They don't do well.
It's a nonprofit in Florida that coordinates like veterans and volunteers, and they go out and do hunts for like different cool things. And we're going with them to hunt for Burmese python. You're all welcome.
You locked down the python?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, locked that down, and I said, while we're there, we're also looking to do a fishing trip. He said, well, if you guys are interested in anything else, we also do other cool stuff. Like what? And he is setting us up on an iguana hunt. So
Iguana?
That's so cool.
Yeah.
What? That's really cool.
Iguana.
An iguana hunt?
Can you eat
Iguana
those?
hunt. Yeah. Now, the problem was, because I said, with the snake, we're looking to eat it. And he said, well, you can't. I said, I looked it up online.
You can eat snake.
They
That's
said,
great.
they said that Burmese
I'm not
python,
eating snake.
you can eat it, but it has high levels of mercury because it's like a predator. But I read that you can still eat it just once or twice a year or something like that, like whitefish.
Just don't be
Why
pregnant.
risk it?
You just talk a little funny after that's all.
But he said,
around.
but he goes,
You
no,
go back a couple reading levels.
in the Everglades, the way their food chain or whatever is set up, you cannot eat them. There's so much mercury in them that it will mess you up.
Specifically the ones in the Everglades.
Yes.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So he goes, you can't eat those. I go, well, what could we do with them? He goes, well, we could take them and do something with the skin or the body, and you could do that, and that could be your cooking segment. And it's an invasive
I can already
species,
see
so
my
you're not
boots.
really wasting it because you're trying to help the ecosystem by getting rid of them because they were put in by people who just didn't want their pet snake anymore. So they just put them in the Everglades, but they can live there, so they did well. And
Interesting.
They didn't just
became their
live there,
thing.
they thrived, and
Yeah.
they've literally decimated the
It's like-
ecosystem because they eat everything.
It's like
a
the
big
boar problem.
A big one will literally eat like alligators.
Are they
Orion.
poisonous?
They're not
No.
poisonous.
They're not poisonous?
They-
They,
they
just
like-
crush you to death?
Yeah.
What we'd like to do is get a scene of the actual ingestion. So we're going to have one eat you with it, and you'll
Me?
just have a camera.
Like an Ace Ventura.
I think a guy tried that. They
Yeah.
put him in some body armor, and he
He died.
started eating. No, he didn't die.
Didn't he
They started
die?
eating on his head, and he's like, nope, pull me out.
No.
Wow.
It's kind of off topic, but there's a lot of stories of farmers actually like falling down and like breaking their leg and stuff like that, and then they fall down, break their leg, and the pigs eat them. Like pigs are,
Yeah,
pigs will
pigs.
just
Like
you
cats.
slow down enough and a pig will eat
They'll
you.
eat the bones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There will be nothing left.
There's people that snow goose hunt, and what they'll do is with snow goose is it's thought of as not as good of a table fare as like a mallard or something like that. But they obviously need to kill them because of the numbers. Otherwise, you didn't listen to the other podcast where I explained that, which means you need to go back and listen to episode 3 right now. But
Do it.
But with that, they'll actually take the snow goose and they'll toss the whole thing in to the pig to feed the pigs, and they'll eat the feathers and the eyes and the head and everything. They're
Yeah.
just-
Well, my dad grew up on a farm, and he would talk about that. They'd pick one, rip it to shreds, eat it, and
you
then
can't even lay
pick
down
the next
around
one.
them. You can't even lay down around them, and they'll get you.
Yeah.
So we're hunting iguanas. So
They said
So that's
that.
happening.
So what he said was, he goes, well, if you guys have any other hunts you want to do, and you want one where you can eat it, we do hunt iguana.
That's so cool.
Well, I don't know that Kyle would want to do that because
had a
his
pet iguana.
first pet was an iguana.
Rex.
That's a loser pet.
Yeah.
You're a loser pet. Actually, it was a rescue. My dad was at a shop.
Oh, a rescue in Michigan?
No, listen to the story. Okay.
Iguana.
How did you like the story that you didn't hear yet? So what
Rescued it from the woods.
No, what happened was my dad was at his work and there was a package sent to the work or whatever, and they opened it up and there was like a half dead iguana in it. And like they found it, and it's like, I don't know, someone did it as a joke or like tried to hide a pet or like ship it somewhere or whatever it was. My dad owned a company that was inside another company. The package went to that other company and he found it and then brought it home, and then that was our pet. That's the story he told us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So-
you'd think that like a rescue like that, you would either just put it out of its misery because it's in so much pain and sad and hasn't eaten, or you'd give it to someone who'd take care of it. But
Right.
instead, his dad gave it to Kyle. So.
Yeah.
Actually, a cool thing about
We won't disclose what happened after that.
a cool thing about iguanas though is their behavior is based upon their food. So if you feed them meat, they're real aggressive, and if you feed them like vegetables and things like
Fruit
that,
and
they're,
flakes.
they're sweethearts.
They're just
Really?
passive aggressive.
Which is weird because ours was never a sweetheart,
They're like a woman.
but we fed them vegetables. Like, I don't think it's it.
It ate a lot of dandelions.
Interesting.
I remember that.
Yeah, we picked the dandelion, the flowers of the dandelion. Well, people eat dandelions in their salad. Read a
Yeah,
book.
I know that.
Watch a movie.
I correct Ryan like he didn't know, but he's like, I know this. That's like something I know.
So yeah, but we're going to do a hunt for
What do they
iguana.
taste like? Is it like I picture a meat similar to rabbit for whatever reason.
He
Probably.
said that, and I said, well, I'll have to get back to you, but that definitely sounds interesting. So I don't know.
What do you mean you
the
said you
details
get,
yet on
you
it.
get back to
Interesting.
him? That's like a
Well, I
smoking
don't
hot
know.
girl coming up
We
and be like,
only
"Are you
have-
interested?" And
we
you're like,
have-
"Oh, I don't know."
I'll let you know.
We got 4 days to be there, so I don't know if we'll be able to make it fit. It sounds like
Yeah,
we're
so
going
we
to
have
make it fit.
1 day to do python and 3 days taking out iguanas. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Okay.
I wanna-
And soaking up the
You know,
sun.
I'm just excited for my Python cowboy hat. That's what I'm going to
Which
get.
apparently is in the cards now because that's the only way we can utilize the meat.
I'll take a belt.
Yeah, but we have a
About-
setup with
Yeah.
a taxidermist, and we got a lot of stuff set up. So I'm
Yeah,
pretty
didn't you have
excited
someone
about
like a scientist or something coming
it.
out?
There's a scientist who's going to come meet us. He's going to talk about the science of invasive
Scientist?
species and other things.
You're
and
kind of like a new man today. You're kicking booty, booking all this stuff.
Nice.
Good for
You're
you.
gonna make me glad to stop at.
I want to get into our first actual topic.
Okay, here we go.
Jeff and I have been on a lot of risky trips in our life, and about to go on
Most of them.
about to go on another one with the bear hunt, which we'll be talking about the bear hunt later on. But there was a guy in Switzerland. He was a tourist from Florida that actually went off a 4,000-foot mountaintop, and he was doing hang gliding. And what happened was when they took off, and this is like one of my biggest fears, they took off, and when they took off, he wasn't completely attached. So you look at the video right now, you can see it. See, well,
Right
they're
here.
taking
He's
off.
attached to
He just
himself.
realized it. The guy in the plaid, he's
He's
like,
attached to himself. You look at the other guy, he's attached to the glider. That guy's just got his clip attached to his
who
own
panicked
backpack. And
so my man is hanging off, and he's at 4,000 feet.
oh, he'll
and
just swoop down. No
Wow.
big deal.
He gets to 4,000.
That's the thing is, I
it
was thought
looks-
like I'd be in a hurry to get to the ground, but the fact that he got to the ground in 2 minutes apparently was a big thing. But he's
Hold me.
Can you imagine the panic that would ensue? And I'm getting like, you watch this video and my heart starts skipping a beat. But yeah, so this guy, 4,000 foot he was up. And he wasn't attached to the hang glider. The main guy was. So the guy's trying to steer with one hand while holding on to the other guy, who's
And that
probably
guy's
pretty
pulling him.
frantic.
He's pulling on him, making it worse.
Yeah.
So now the guy can't really aim very well because he's got this other guy pulling on him, like get off me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Now here's the landing, which was about 2 minutes and 14 seconds, is what they said.
The guy-
He actually
oh.
falls. He breaks his wrist.
I was
It
gonna
was like
say,
one of those weird spiral fractures. He had to get a plate.
Jumping out of
But
a car.
you know what? Compared to falling at 4,000 feet, I think he did pretty good.
I'd take the 4,000.
Aside
Yeah,
from,
I mean, he's-
aside from
he's still
just
alive.
that, he actually tore his bicep as well from overstraining, holding on.
And
that
panic.
sounds worse.
yeah.
Can you imagine? But that just goes to show, like, the
the
human
adrenaline.
body. He held on, and he's holding 4,000, or he tore his bicep, but still held on. You know what I mean?
What is it? Like your body, you only access like 50% of your body strength. Like
Really?
when you're trying to do something, like your body can
Yeah,
actually
Oh
like,
yeah,
go.
when
like
panic
you'll
sets
get
in,
a
you
shot
can-
of adrenaline, and all of a sudden you can like roll a car or like lift a super huge rock because it's crushing your friends.
They
or
say
whatever, you know?
they call
the
it mom
baby
strength.
fell on a
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
car.
They call it mom strength too, though. There's been moms
Oh,
that
yeah.
have lifted cars off of kids and stuff like that because they were like
Tap into that. hidden
the
power.
adrenaline gets
Ryan,
going.
Ryan like made like a flirty face when he heard that. I was like, "Mom strength." He's like, "Whoa,
Really?
girls, oh
That's
man."
not what it was.
Oh, okay.
That's-
Yeah, it's probably not podcast appropriate, whatever it was. But in pushing the borders on podcast appropriate, I guess. Did you hear about the Christian? Not a minister, but he's
A missionary.
Missionary. That's the
Yeah.
word I'm looking for. He is a Christian missionary, and essentially what he did was he went out and he went to this island, North Sentinelese Island, and I've been practicing saying
North Sentinel Island. The people there are Sentinelese.
Nice.
Yep,
He
he's right.
still
He's
messed it
right.
up. He
He's-
practiced.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
I was so
Sentinel.
I was so prepared. But anyhow, he went to this island, and it's off the coast of India, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. And I put some pictures together where you can actually see where it is. But these people are the first people, this tribe, which is roughly anywhere from 50 to 150 people, are thought to be the ancestors of the first people to leave Africa. And you can argue how old the Earth is and how long people have been here, but according to the science, and I'm not going to get
Fun
into all
topic.
that. Yeah, no kidding. They're saying my dad's like 10,000.
Strong.
Yeah, I know. But they're saying that it was 60,000 people, or 60,000 years ago, the people went to this island. Now they're secluded; they're left alone completely, and they've actually been subject to disease over. They've been visited and then spread disease, and because they're so secluded, it's actually illegal to go within 3 miles of the shore. It might be 5 miles. I think it's 3 miles.
Well,
of the shore.
Enter at your own risk.
I had heard the
No, it's not enter at your own risk. It's a felony.
Yeah, no, it's legal trouble. But
It's
I
illegal.
had heard that their population was
Much higher.
significantly higher, and they're
Yep.
down to like 100 or something real small.
Yeah,
but it's because
50 to 150 now.
it's because their immune system can't handle.
Yeah, so
what-
because they're
what
so
ours can.
secluded, like measles will wipe them out.
See, I feel like they're the kind of tribe where they probably have never had cancer due to like the never being, seen other.
They're eating
worlds.
organic for sure.
Well, just like their body just doesn't. The things that
Or
we eat.
What they're affected by is
Or
different.
because there's so few people on the island, are they like so interconnected? Like everyone's a third cousin. or
Inbreeding,
You're saying
something.
yeah.
inbred?
Yeah.
So I
Excuse
don't
me?
know
Interconnected?
if that would negatively impact.
Oh, good.
You know what I mean?
Good
Like,
point.
I don't know.
Well, apparently, and it's actually said that back in 2004, we went to go check on them after the hurricane.
Not we personally.
Not
but-
me personally, but they went
Oh,
with a
that.
helicopter to check on them, and they shot arrows at the
Yeah,
helicopter.
they're like,
they
"That's
don't
one
want
big
helicopters.
bird."
Yeah, they don't
You
want.
know, you know what I like about this story is anytime we do a story, I like to look at like pros for the story and cons for the story, different sides of it. And I only found one for a lady from Australia who was like really for what they were doing. She's like, you know what? Good. They've got good border protection. We should have that too in Australia, where I'm a
They said
senator.
they have good. They have
She
good
goes,
border protection.
She goes, good. Keep people who are different out. This was like an extreme
Wow.
senator lady from
That happened?
Australia. She said she sought to have a ban against Asians and Muslims from coming into Australia.
Whoa. Really?
And she used this as like, yeah, good for them.
What party is she?
Australians are pretty open, I thought.
Yeah.
Other than
Minus their
other
crazy
than with
weather.
guns.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't like guns.
They ruin guns. So, but
So that's another.
yeah, I won't even.
conversation.
I won't go down that rabbit hole.
We're going down them all.
So essentially, we went and checked on him in 2004. So this young missionary, he's 27 years old. He had the idea that he wanted to go there and introduce them to Christianity, and he had in his book that his journal he was writing that he wrote in there like, is this Satan's last stand on earth, where people have literally never heard about Jesus and things like that. And like, you kind of have to give him credit for wanting to introduce people to Christianity, but it's illegal to go there for a reason. And there was fishermen that got him close enough, and then he paddled the rest of the way in.
Mm-hmm.
And he paddled in, and he went there with his Bible, and within seconds of getting on shore, is that my
Arrows.
phone too, by the way? Within seconds of arriving on shore, he was actually hit with a bunch of arrows and killed. And the fishermen said they actually saw him dragging the body
Wow.
and burying it. And the thing is, they're aggressive towards it because those people have been treated poorly in the past. So their only experience with outsiders is they bring disease and they
it's
do bad
bad.
stuff
Take
to us. They
advantage
do
and-
take advantage
yeah.
of us. So
There could have been some pillaging
and
back in the day.
and they're protected for a reason. And so they can't be tried for the murder because It's illegal to go there in the first. Like, imagine establishing a government. Like,
there's no. It's just chaos.
You know,
You're under arrest.
I guess
get off our island.
The guy had said though before he went, he said, "If I do get killed, do not blame them.
Yeah,
I know how dangerous it is, but I'm trying to bring them the word of God. Don't blame them for this if they do."
Yeah, he wrote that in his journal. In the journal. So he goes there, and so now they're trying to figure out how to recover his body and stuff. What fascinated me about the story was my drive here. I was thinking about it, and I'm like driving, and I'm passing like fast food restaurants and stores, and I'm driving a car, and like all these different things that like are no big deal to us. Those people don't know anything different than what we knew as like I don't want to say cavemen. I don't want to say
Cro-Magnon men.
Like hundreds of years. Like
they probably don't even know that it's Christmas time.
We had so much more technology. We had so much more technology in the Wild West with handguns.
Yeah.
They're so far behind, I guess you could say. But like from a culture standpoint, now imagine you're in that situation where you didn't know any of this stuff and everything was different and your whole life was different to what we know now. And you're there, and the only experience you have is like apparently there's this guy in like the 1800s or the early 1900s that went there and like did like science experiments on him and like took weird provocative sexual pictures of him and stuff like that and made him pose in weird ways, and a bunch of people got diseases from the interaction and stuff, and it was just a really sick thing.
And you know what? Like probably 4 generations.
They're talking about
now.
They're talking about
that's like lore for them. Don't ever trust anyone who comes to the island from the sea.
People that come from the outside.
People from the water are bad. Don't like.
Yeah, and that's like what they know. And as their numbers diminish from diseases of the unknown, and they know that when the people come, they bring disease. Yeah. So you really can't. They don't. It's like a kid that doesn't know what they did wrong. You know what I mean? I mean, they killed him, which is really and it's sad for him and his family and everything like that. But like, you're not supposed to go to that island, and it's like you're supposed to tell them about God, but like, where is the line, and then what are you supposed to? And the Indian government is like, they're not going to be tried. Nothing's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
The fishermen.
We told you not to go.
Yeah.
There.
The fishermen that got him close. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I saw an article that said they were in trouble for dropping them off, and no matter what, they're in trouble. Legally, big trouble. But one of the articles I read said they were going to be tried for his murder.
Yikes!
Really?
Because it was by sending him there.
You gotta wonder.
So I don't know whether that'll shake out. But that's what
it is a different world though on that side of the world. You know?
It's insane though. When we come back, we're actually going to be talking about an upcoming bear hunt, and that bear hunt is something that we know so little about. And we're actually going to identify what we do know and what we don't know. So maybe we'll actually have a good experience on this hunt. Stay tuned.
The Sportsman's Alliance works to protect your outdoor passions. For nearly 4 decades, the Sportsman's Alliance has fought to protect and advance hunting, fishing, trapping, and shooting in all 50 state legislatures, in the courts, in Congress, and at the ballot box. The Sportsman's Alliance continues to be the leading organization fighting coast to coast against any legislation or action that threatens your outdoor heritage, while also proactively advancing legislation that allows more opportunities for sportsmen and their families. The future of our outdoor heritage rests with the passion of sportsmen. By becoming a member of Sportsman's Alliance, you'll take an important step to help protect and promote hunting, fishing, and trapping from attacks by animal rights activists. Join the Sportsman's Alliance today to create a powerful and unified voice for sportsmen across the country.
Take the guesswork out of diver duck hunting with Jeremy Ullman of MI Guide Service. Offering everything you need for a successful hunt at great prices, you're sure to have a blast. We offer open water blind and layout hunts in Lake St. Clair, Saginaw Bay, as well as custom hunts in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. We've also got your fishing needs covered with trips available in every season. Go to miguideservice.com to book your hunt or fishing trip today.
Eagle Review is the review and ratings platform for thousands of international shooting and fishing destinations for virtually every game species. It is free of charge, and it helps you to find the perfect place and to book your fishing and shooting trips directly with the owner or agent. You can easily find unique places in virtually every corner of the world. Find your dream destination by selecting a location, a method, and a species that you are interested in. Once you've made a selection, you can easily compare destinations and find out what other people have to say about their experiences. It's the way to find your dream adventure, compare your options, and choose your trip. You can then help others finding their dream adventure by writing your review. So join the community and share your passion. Eagle Review. Find your dream shooting and fishing destinations.
Hotshot Outfitters in Port Hope, Michigan is the destination for whitetail deer, crow, waterfowl, rabbit, predator, and turkey hunts. We have cabins, over 30,000 non-fenced acres, and a passion for delivering fair chase hunts to you and your family. Reserve your hunt at hotshotoutfitters.com today.
Hello and welcome back to the Green Man Outdoors podcast. I actually wanted to start this off with one more philosophical question before we get in the unknown bear hunt. I skipped it the last time and it was on my sheet, and I actually bring it up because it's something I keep seeing. So on the Let 'Em Go, Let 'Em Grow page, there's like everybody posts their pictures of their deer and talks about like the stories and stuff like that. And I think I even saw this from the guys at Time's Up Outdoors, which I'll touch on later. But essentially, I from like a thought process of like what's right and wrong and what's what, apparently I disagree with everybody on this topic. So
That's good.
So I'm going to tell you the story. You're on your property, you're deer hunting, and a deer comes in. You shoot the deer runs off. You try and track the deer.
You hit the deer.
Yeah, you hit the deer for sure, no question. You try and find the deer. Goes onto private property. It's opening day. You can't really do anything about it. Deer goes over there. Is wandering around. Lays down for the day. Next morning, somebody's out on their property. Deer comes into their stuff. They shoot it. Kill it. They can tell it's injured. So now the deer's been shot twice. They put it down. They're the ones that killed it. Who has a right to the deer?
Whose property was it on?
Not even who has a right to it. I don't want to put it that way. I want to put who should get the deer. Not law, none of that crap.
Person who killed it.
Yeah, the person who killed
Ethics.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I agree. So like that was my thought process, is like it makes logical sense to me for a few reasons. One, it's there and you killed it and you know where it is and you got it.
It's on your land.
It's on your land.
Yeah.
Two, yeah, but the land, you're starting to get into legally whose it is. I want to stick on
Ethically.
So you killed
Etiquette.
it. You killed it. You know where it is. You can gut it faster. You know you killed it. You don't necessarily know that someone else shot it and wounded it. You don't necessarily know these things and all those different variables. But in every scenario that I saw online, everybody was saying, oh, I shot a deer and put it down and obviously returned it to the person who shot it first, or was obviously this or obviously that. And I saw like 5 or 6 scenarios where that was, and it's like, that's a cool thing to do. Like being the bigger, like
bless
being
your heart.
Yeah, bless your heart. And I'm not saying that it just to me would make sense. It's like whoever killed it gets it. It's like just because like they shot it in the side or something like that, or the butt, or made a poor shot, or because they didn't kill it.
Yeah, sorry.
It's not even like sorry. It's like it just makes sense that the person who got it, that they would claim it to me. I
Off the bat, right away.
But
Yeah.
Nobody agrees with me.
That's
Well, what do you
interesting.
think about this? So your scenario is that you shot it, it walks off, you can't recover it, move on. The next shooter the next day shoots it. What if you shoot it, it kicks, walks off onto another property. 5 minutes later, a guy sees a deer kind of like sad walking and
Sad
shoots it.
Well, it's on his property, so it's his.
Is it you didn't even give the deer the opportunity to lay down in normal, deer hunting process where it lays
That's
down
like
and dies?
that's like a super
So-
isolated.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I've seen it happen
depending.
before. It's happened to my
Not an opening day.
It's happened to my
I'm-
dad before on our farm down in Jackson. I'm pretty sure it was him or my cousin shot a deer, ran off. Someone else, the thing was bleeding like crazy. There was blood all running down the side of it. You knew it was shot. Someone else shot it, and then that's when it went down. And they're like, well, it's my deer. I shot it last. So, I mean, that happens.
I had a deer stolen from me.
Yeah, I feel like that's just...
Yeah,
all you
I
do.
was-
And that was and I guess then I would be like, kind of took claim to it. So it was we were at Christy's house, and I shot a doe, and I shot it, and it took it, and it walked real slowly onto the other property behind us. And I was like, it's going to lay down right over there. And I waited like 20 minutes to a half hour because I'm like, got it. I couldn't see all the way through to the other side of the other property. And the other property was like a field that bordered up to our woods there.
Was it an old man?
I'll tell you what happened. So I waited a half hour. I tell Jeff, yeah, I got one. Real big doe. I'm excited for sure. I think he even came over to help. Mm-hmm. Comes over to help, walks up the hill. I'm like, there's no question.
It's there.
It's the,
it walked off real, like, they may run, and then you're like, oh no, what if it keeps running? Like, it from what he said, just kind of like walked off.
I know when I shoot a deer. I've shot, a lot of deer to know. So I go over there. You're so
Mr. Big Guy. That Willy Wonka meet, or Willy Wonka meet.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell me all about it?
Yeah. Oh, so you shot 15 deer? Ones. Tell me again why you're a pro.
Yeah.
So we go over there, and we get to the fence line, and there's a truck driving off the field, and the way the crops were, it was like, what was it, crops or even grass? You could see the path. He drove up to our fence line, and then drove out of there. And that was it, and that's right where the deer went.
You never saw the guy? Cause
I saw him pulling away.
Yeah, walking
did you see
up
what
to,
he looked like?
No, I just
because I know
I saw his old truck.
I'm right by Christy's house, and there's been run-ins with a guy that lives right by her, who is just he's a mean old man. Yeah,
I genuinely, I mean, it was right where the deer went. I followed the trail right to it, right there. I think she laid down right on that fence line. It was like it was everything. I think he stole it.
Was it under the power lines?
It would have been in the woods more.
Across?
Yeah.
I think it was him then.
Yeah, I think
I know who the guy is. We're on to you.
Tell him I'm on to him. Yeah, so anyhow, but in that scenario where it's like, I shot the deer, and like your scenario, I was pretty sure it was going to die, or it goes over and dies. Mm-hmm. Recovering a deer is one thing. But like the person who shoots a deer that's about to lay down and die anyhow, that's dumb. But in the situation where it's like, if you shot it and it went over and died, it's like, to me, whoever finished it should get it. But,
yeah.
But I would apparently agree. I'm the only person that thinks that way.
I think it's like that unless you're the type of person where you're out trying to look for people. Like if you hear a gunshot, then a deer goes flying past you, that deer might have been shot. Don't be like the guy who's like, I'm going to shoot it just so it's mine.
Who's shooting running deer?
Well, I mean, then
who's shooting running deer?
There, so.
Who knows? In Michigan, there's 500,000 people out there hunting.
Yeah, but how can you make an ethical running shot?
There's all sorts of people outside out hunting.
That's like the guy we used to duck hunt with, who you'd go out, your duck comes in,
this story.
You shoot it, the duck starts falling, and then he would shoot it. You see extra feathers come off and stuff, and you're like, what on earth? He goes, oh, no, I got that one. Like, no, I shot it first. It's falling. And then you shot it. He goes, oh, all right, you can have it.
You can have it.
What do you mean? Don't you take this from me. Don't you dare.
So not only does he ruin the fact that you got a duck, now it's weird, and on top of that,
he's letting you have it.
Well, no, and he shot the crap out of your duck, so now the meat is possibly ruined. And
it's like a consistent thing he would do, and it drove me up the wall.
Did you say anything to him?
Yeah, I yelled at him.
Good.
Ruining hunting. We quit hunting with him.
Ruining hunting.
Good.
It's like a long-term friend we don't hunt with anymore. We were not.
Yeah. Then we met him at a furniture store once. Now you know who you are.
Yeah, that's right. You went with me to pick up the couch and stuff. Thanks for that, by the way.
You're welcome.
2 years later.
So Monday, we actually are going to get in our brand new 2019 loaded up Ram truck, and we are going to be headed down to West Virginia, which apparently is only like 7 hours from us in Michigan. For whatever reason, I pictured West Virginia being like a huge haul. But we're going there for our first ever black bear hunt. We've been invited to the Boy Scouts to hunt on some private property where there's apparently a lot of bears. Now, here's the scenario. There is no baiting allowed in West Virginia, at least where we are. I don't think there is anywhere, but specifically where we're at, there's no baiting and no use of dogs for black bears. This is the late season, because it's December that we're going to be there. It's a late season right before they go into hibernation. So they're real fat.
Just picture wild America when they're looking for the bears.
Exactly. Now, here's the thing. I've never bear hunted before. I don't have a clue about how to bear hunt. But what I do know is this. These are the scenarios. The bears during the peak season come in all the time to the Boy Scout camp because they're
what season?
peak camping season and stuff like that. This
okay.
is a big campground. It's the biggest one. It's the Bechtel Reserve, which is it's just it's like they host over 50,000 kids in this facility for their big event during the summer.
It's a lot of people.
The summit. It's huge. So anyhow, they've got like thousands and thousands of acres far away from the Boy Scouts, far away from that, but it's all surrounding the property. Super secluded. It's in the mountains. Absolutely gorgeous. You're going to love it. Now, here's the thing. The bears come in all the time to the dumpsters to raid the dumpsters. So here's my thought process. We'll go there, and the day one, we'll go to the dumpsters to, like, see what we're seeing and see where they're coming from, just to get, like, there's something to me about watching the animal before you kill it. It's like Steve Rinella was talking about. I always like this. He's talking about the people in Africa. He's like, it always amazed me, like the people that go on those Africa safari and go, wow, that's what one of those looks like. Bam! And then, it's like you like want to observe the animal first. So it's like
absolutely.
I want to go to the dumpsters, and hopefully they'll come in.
I want to observe them at the dumpster.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in their natural habitat.
My first thought is Pineapple Express. We just hunt out of the dumpster. Why? Because I'm in the dumpster already.
No, the idea is so I can
That's funny.
see how they're getting to the dumpster, where they're coming from, so we can try and track them down.
They're probably coming from the woods.
One would
Probably.
speculate.
I would think so.
Well, I'm so glad we have Ryan to help
No,
us.
they come from the zoo. That's where they keep bears.
Oh, that's right.
That's where they keep bears. He's a teddy bear. Yeah, careful on that one. But so my idea is if we can monitor them, see where they're coming from and where they're going. They're coming in at night, and they have to shoot them with rubber bullets all the time to get them away from the dumpsters. It's like so.
You'll probably find I would assume a path, like a trail in the woods where they're consistently going.
Where we can cut them off when it's still daylight.
And then well, we're hunting them with a knife, right?
Shut up.
No, Reverend style.
I'm actually excited. I wanted to go kind of old school with this for shooting, and that's like one of the cool things about the hunting shows, though, is they all use like bolt action rifles. I guess it'd be the uncool thing. For me, I'm really excited. I'm using my dad's 4570 cowboy gun, lever action.
Lever action.
But a 4570 is a big.
Is that a
uncle.
rifle?
Yeah, it's like, think of it, for you, AJ, think of it like a cowboy gun where they shoot and then rack like that.
Oh,
and it
yeah.
flips over the shoulder.
I remember those.
Like if Clint Eastwood was going to bear hunt.
The bear's coming in. Yes, I'm ready. Oh, you scared the bear off. Oh.
Should have used that bolt action.
The lever action scared him off.
Not enough room in this town for the both of us. Yeah.
Get off my dumpster.
That was a good Clint Eastwood reference.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
But I'm actually pretty excited about learning and cutting them off. But there's going to be someone there that shows me the property and shows me kind of like what they frequent and what they do. But, I'm making it sound like we're hunting like, in a populated area. Keep in mind, it's like the Boy Scout Reserve, while a humongous facility, they have thousands and thousands of acres there. So we're going to be in a pretty secluded area where the bears actually are. But tracking them down on foot and like learning how to bear hunt on the fly will be something that I'm pretty excited about. But one of the things too is like identifying male and female bear, like black bears, and like the size of them. I'm not out there for a trophy, right? So if anything, I would like a medium-sized bear that isn't too big. That would
whatever tastes good and doesn't have
Not
trichinosis.
too
Yeah,
close
we're getting
to that.
trichinosis.
Trichinosis. Oh well.
I read that like the shape of their head is how you tell whether they're like older or younger, because the younger ones have more. It's like the opposite of deer for me. You see a deer and you see the little short nose. Oh, that's a young one if it's by itself, and you can't judge by other deer how big it is. Well, with a bear, I guess not necessarily the longer the nose, but the head is much broader on an older one. So if you made like a triangle from the ears to the nose, a younger one has a real narrow little triangle, and an old one has like a big broad triangle. And the young ones have like sticky outy ears more.
Sticky outy
Sticky
ears.
outy ears.
Nice. Word of the day.
My plan is for the 8-hour drive is just to listen to how-tos.
How to shoot a deer.
Just
How to shoot
listen
a
to
bear.
Steve Rinella podcasts on how to on whatever bear hunt
Does he
they
talk
do.
about how to bear hunt specifically?
I'm sure it's
it's
in a smattering of like 18 different episodes for like 2 or 3 minutes at a time.
I'm pretty excited about it, though. I the bear hunt itself, to have that new experience, I think, too, for the audience, is like, and we've always been pretty passionate about this, we are not experts on everything. How could anybody be experts on everything? We hunt and fish. We're doing an iguana episode. I don't know what you use to hunt iguanas, but I know that the audience is going to learn right along with us. And I think that this big game and this difficult hunt and this physically demanding hunt And not only that, I'm using a gun where we got to get in within 100 yards. Yeah. So, tight quarters.
It's still safe.
crazy.
That's still safe.
It's still safe. AJ's like, yeah, I can't wait. But it's I don't know. It's just to have the audience learn along with us, where it's like, I may do stuff that like the audience is gonna be like, what an idiot. But I don't know, and I'm gonna learn, and that's one of the cool things about the show that I think is like we're true to that.
You for sure can't do a like any kind of running shot or even maybe a moving shot. Have you ever seen a bear like run? How quick it can get going? It's weird because it's so big. You would think that it like takes a while to get going, but it's like boom, and then you watch it running, and it looks weird because it's you see it moving. It's almost like a moonwalk. You see it running, but it's just kind of like gliding across.
Yeah,
and like,
no, they're fast though.
How on earth?
They are fast. And here's the thing about bears.
Have you seen The Revenant?
Exactly.
Yeah, watch a movie, Jack. There's two things that they do when they're shot. A bear will do. If you shoot them,
Get very angry.
they'll run straight forward, wherever they're facing. Or B, and more common, according to what I read, is they circle back around whatever hit them. So, like, if they get bit in their side, they'll do a circle to come back around to try and get you back.
Yikes.
So they'll circle around. That's why I thought the lever action was cool with the peep sights without a scope, because to me, you make the shot, and it's like for close quarters, like a brush gun.
You shoot from the hip.
You're ready to go. Shoot from the hip. Well, ready to go in.
We were texting about it earlier over the phone, bringing like extra sidearms just in case.
Oh
Yeah,
you will need them.
You don't know.
You just gotta.
No,
be,
you'll need them.
This is a big thing, and I'm not trying to like ham it up and make it something it's not. Like we're probably gonna die or something.
No.
But
I don't think anyone would argue
you're
that.
at a Boy Scout camp, so obviously it's safe.
Again, it's not at the Boy Scout camp. It's off on the property. But
Yeah, sure.
You're like, whatever helps you sleep at night. You're shooting them off the dumpster. No, just kidding. I'm going to talk about our tip of the week, and this is something that Jeff and I talk about all the time because we count down to the day every year where we can actually ice fish. So today's tip of the week is based on ice thickness. So this is for near clear ice or new ice. So it's got to be clear and it's got to be new, okay? And how thick does new clear ice have to be in order to go on it? So 4 inches is good for an individual fisherman, just sitting on a bucket chilling. 5 to 7 inches of good clear ice is good for a snowmobile and an ice shanty. So you can be in there with your heater on and everything like that. Honestly, I've done that in 4 inches, and I'm still here. But I've also gone through the ice 3 times, so I'm not exactly like.
I don't mess with
Not
that.
that much.
Jeff and I have gone out when we go. We'll wear waders because we're going to go through in the beginning, but once we get out to the safe stuff, we'll be fine.
The weird thing is, I don't remember where we were, but we were near some kind of a bay, and we look out and like, oh, cool! Look, there's ice. There's ice forming. There's people out there. They're fishing, and you can see like the shelf of ice, and then there's just water after that. It's like it hasn't even frozen over yet.
Wow.
There's already
Really?
people out there on a
No
bucket.
way.
It's like
there's
got to be maybe 2.5 inches tops.
I don't want to be the guy on the news that's like needs a helicopter to come get me.
Yeah,
I really don't want to be that
I
guy.
don't want that.
But all right, 4 inches good for an individual fisherman. 5 to 7 inches good for a snowmobile and a shanty. 8 to 12 inches of good ice is supposedly good enough for a car, and 12 to 15 is good enough for a pickup truck. However, it was really funny. We went ice fishing one time, and I called my dad. I said, Dad, we're on Lake Lancelot. I'm like, everybody's driving. It's a really long walk to where the fish are, and everybody's drove their truck out. It's funny, like no matter how old you get, you still got to call your dad to be like, this feels dumb. What do you think?
Yeah.
And he goes, without hesitation, he goes, nope, nope. And I was like, but there's 20 inches of ice. Nope.
One tire touches the ice, and anywhere after that, your warranty is void. You have no insurance. If anything happens,
true.
you
That
are
is true.
screwed.
Yeah.
So tip of the week.
Not to do it.
Tip of the week. That's what you need for ice thickness and insurance. Don't void your insurance.
Make sure you get ice insurance.
We went out and Kyle's like, you know what? Normally it's like, that's dumb. We shouldn't do that. But it was, what was that, like 5-6 years ago now? We had the longest winter. We ice fished from
November December,
to April.
Yep, November.
So half of a year we ice fished.
In Michigan,
And
southeast Michigan.
It was like mid-January. He goes, it took us forever just to get fishing because it was like 24 inches of ice. Something stupid. He goes, we can drive a truck on this. I go, nope.
Not doing it.
Your truck,
I agree.
But you're driving it and I'm not getting in it.
I do agree.
The auger could only go through like 18 inches, and then you had to spud the rest.
Oh, it was god awful.
And that last bit is the hardest.
Yeah.
That last
Oh, man.
always the hardest. When we come back, we're actually going to learn why deer need insurance policies during the winter. Because if you feed them during the winter, you can kill them. And here's why. Stay tuned. It was 3 years ago that two millennials and lifelong best friends set out on a mission to protect the future of conservation. At the present moment, 60% of hunting and fishing licenses and conservation organization memberships are sold to white males over the age of 55. What many don't realize is these sales and memberships are what protect our waterways, wetlands, fisheries, our data collection, our species sustainability efforts, our forest, the Department of Natural Resources, and anti-poaching efforts. The $373 billion outdoor industry is looking for the answer to attract millennials and Generation Z. Welcome to the Greenway Outdoors. The key to inspiring millennials and Generation Z to hunt, fish, and practice conservation efforts is not through traditional outdoor TV. We have to reach them the way they want to be reached, and that's through entertaining and educational reality TV show content. And to reach the masses that we need to protect the future of conservation and the outdoor industry, we have to take it mainstream, and the Greenway Outdoors will do it. Okay.
Ready?
When you frantically move your feet, I'll pull you back out.
Okay. Heel click with your feet, and I'll help him pull you out. You want his right leg or his left leg?
The right one smells worse. I'll take it because I already know.
That's the one that pee runs down. What?
We hold his legs apart. We go, click your heels when you want to come in.
Got cold hands. I'll stop.
It's in my bag. It's in my thing. Why don't you dig it out? Because I don't. It's gonna be at like the bottom, and there's all kind of snacks. Don't touch the snacks.
Well, snacks aren't for you.
Those snacks aren't meant for you.
Oh, berries. We could probably eat these.
Yeah, eat those.
Please.
Yeah, eat them.
Please get sick.
Please eat them. Please eat them. We need the ratings. Just eat them.
If I steal, I try to get at you. Poke him like it's hot. All right, now I'm done.
The True Reality Show platform offers tons of laughs, and each episode teaches a specific tactic for a specific species. In a 30-minute program, we cover the conservation of the species, the gear needed for the tactic, the actual hunting and fishing trip, a Bible lesson, and we show you how to cook it. An action-packed, hilarious, but educational show millennials love. Welcome back to the Greenway Outdoors podcast.
Thank you.
We're talking.
Shut up.
That's why I don't even like them.
Yeah.
That's why I don't
Can you
like
just go home?
Get out of here,
Right,
Jeff.
see you guys later.
We're going to talk about killing them with kindness. That was the title of this article.
I made one joke.
No, not you. Jeez.
I thought that was your reference.
Oh.
It's a good segue.
According to this press release issued by the New Hampshire Department of Fish and Game, citizens in the town of Southampton found 6 dead whitetails in a wooded suburban lot on March 20th. This is a couple of years ago. And they were found dead, and they were concerned because they thought it might be poaching, might be this, but there was no bullet holes or anything like that. So they were trying to figure out what was wrong with it. So if you're an animal lover and you have a long winter and you see these deer and you're like, man, they got to be hungry. This winter is lasting way too long. It's March 20th and there's so much snow and they're still not eating. Now, a lot of people don't realize, like, the reserves for deer through the winter are pretty strong. They can live 3 or 4 months in a harsh winter.
Wow.
And a lot of them, the success rate on healthy deer is pretty good. And they survive just off eating wooded browse is what they call them.
Yeah,
Like these little buds at the
You
end.
watch them just walk around and peruse on like grasses and.
No, not grasses.
I've
Browse.
watched them eat grasses.
Just browse.
Gracious.
During the winter, just browse.
They're browsing for grasses.
Nice.
Nope.
Nice.
I really want to make
And
sure we keep this
other
factual.
Woody shrubs.
Nope,
and other
just
things
that.
Like that.
Just that in the winter. So that's what they eat.
All
just
that.
wooded browse.
All of those things.
No,
I watched them eat grass.
There's snow. I'm talking about in the winter.
I'm going to kill you.
The dead of winter. So in February, they're eating all the luscious grass that is out.
The heather. Do you know how grass works?
Can we let this go? They eat wooded browse in the winter and not much else.
What is that?
They're
He
like
doesn't know.
the little buds at the end of like sticks
Okay.
and like little browse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what
It
you're
looks
talking
like a little
Yeah.
teardrop on the.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they eat those.
Okay.
Okay. And not much else.
about. Nothing else.
Stupid Jeff.
Now during the winter, they'll eat those, and their body kind of goes into like a slow-mo kind of situation.
Hibernation.
And it takes deer weeks to actually absorb nutrients from a food source. They have to establish the eating of it. So if like they're gonna start eating carrots, they need to like build themselves up to it.
Oh, to like start like
Yeah,
collecting the nutrients from that. That's
correct.
interesting.
Correct. So in order to feed deer like corn and stuff like that through the winter, you would have to be very consistent with it in small amounts throughout the entire winter. But when people see them hungry in like February and March, they're like, "Oh, those guys are hungry." So we should feed them because it's been a really long winter, and I want to help the survival rate. And you feel bad for them, and you want to feed them, and they're hungry, and bring them inside, and warm them up, and love them, and kiss them. So what happens is they fed them corn, and because of that, the need they were unable to digest the corn in the large amounts. It overloaded their system and killed them.
Yeah.
So those 6 deer, those are some of the deer right there that died because they died.
They
because
died all right next to each other.
because
That's
they were
weird.
fed. It's also
Well,
hay has a lot of protein in it as well, and people will put out like hay for them in the winter as well, and that fibery protein
That wipes them out.
Yeah.
is too much. So like they're almost saying like it's not ketosis, I don't think.
Is
but
this- is it
it's-
strict-
It's there's like the woody stuff that they're eating is real high fiber. They go from eating high fiber browse.
I heard they eat grass.
Grasses. They
Talk about that
switch,
again.
heather, actual grasses that grow in the wintertime. And they switch to the low fiber, high carb corn.
Yeah.
Sugar beets, things that people put out.
high sugar,
So
high
is this
energy.
threat strictly wintertime for people that...
Yeah,
you know,
pretty much. I mean, you don't want to overload their system with anything brand new at any time, really.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But it's very common to have like alfalfa fields and like food plots and stuff like that all the time, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like you build food plots and things like that. But so they eat that throughout the year. But if you blindside them with a huge energy source of food,
Mountain of
They're going
corn.
to stick around because then they don't got to walk around for the food. But then
they'll eat it, they'll overwhelm themselves, and they'll literally die. So
yeah.
I wonder how many other animals that applies to.
I don't know.
Elk, moose, like
It's.
I would assume
from-
most cervids.
Yeah, from.
Nice.
Yeah, service.
yeah.
From what I
That was
read,
quick,
you can,
Reasonable word to use.
a lot of deer, elk, moose, and then farm animals like cow, sheep, anything with cloven hooves
So you
can be caused by.
sorry.
That's good.
What
I
was
like
this?
it.
What was the other science that you got on this? Why don't you go ahead and talk about?
Carry on.
Teach us.
It's called corn toxicity, which causes acidosis or enterotoxemia. Yeah.
Nice.
I was gonna say that.
Very Latin.
Yeah, yeah. Causes increase in pH or a decrease in pH, something to do with the pH, and then that affects, like, they get dehydrated, and bacteria can grow in their gut called Clostridium perfringens.
Okay, easy.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm sure
right?
everyone will retain this.
And then there's that builds up toxins in the system, and then they die in a pile.
So the long
Right next to each other.
So long story short, do not feed deer during the winter, because you're not going to benefit them. You're only going to hurt
Leave them
them.
alone.
Absolutely. So I want to actually go into our social media comment of the week. And that comment actually comes from Time's Up Outdoors, and it's pretty simple. It was just Happy Thanksgiving, guys. And that was my Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Well, hold on.
Good one,
There's
thanks.
something to this. So the guys at Time's Up Outdoors are actually a group of guys that are getting their start the way that we did 4 years ago. And they've gotten together. They're a group of firemen. And they're all firefighters out of their own place. And they saved up, bought cameras, got all this stuff together. And now they're filming their own little versions of outdoor TV shows. They've been nothing but supportive to us. They've shared our podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
They've gone out of their way for us. And I just want to let them know that I appreciate them. So if you are listening, go to Instagram, go to Facebook, and follow Time's Up Outdoors. They're really good guys, good firemen. They're our first responders. They go into fires when nobody else does. And on top of that, they've got some pretty cool content on their website. There's a goose episode I watched on there that they put together. That's a pretty good job. I think it's a lot better than our first episode. So cheers to them.
Even their Instagram has some pretty good videos.
Yeah, and they're just good people. So
Yeah.
go to Time's Up Outdoors, follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Just wanted to give them a shout out, and I appreciate them. When we come back, we're actually going to be talking about our Thanksgiving turkey that Jeff raised. Stay tuned.
Riverside Charters, located in Manistee, Michigan, offers guided fishing trips year-round. We target steelhead, chinook and coho salmon, and brown and lake trout. Fish the big lake on our 38-foot Tiara or the Manistee River on our enclosed and heated 22-foot Rivermaster jet boat. We do all the heavy lifting for you, so you and your buddies can focus on catching the fish. We'll even clean and bag your catch for you. Find out more at riversidecharters.com. Jenks Pheasant Farm in Silverwood, Michigan has been family owned and operated for more than 20 years. We provide realistic upland bird hunt opportunities for any experience level. We have seasoned guides and dogs eager to make your hunt a success. Explore our fields thick with sorghum, canary grass, and good old weeds, which are great for bird cover. We have creeks to help beat the heat during early season, and we'll even clean your birds for you when you're done. Book your hunt now at jenkspheasantfarm.com.
The Sportsman's Alliance works to protect your outdoor passions. For nearly 4 decades, the Sportsman's Alliance has fought to protect and advance hunting, fishing, trapping, and shooting in all 50 state legislatures, in the courts, in Congress, and at the ballot box. The Sportsman's Alliance continues to be the leading organization fighting coast to coast against any legislation or action that threatens your outdoor heritage, while also proactively advancing legislation that allows more opportunities for sportsmen and their families. The future of our outdoor heritage rests with the passion of sportsmen. By becoming a member of Sportsman's Alliance, you'll take an important step to help protect and promote hunting, fishing, and trapping from attacks by animal rights activists. Join the Sportsman's Alliance today to create a powerful and unified voice for sportsmen across the country.
Do you run or own a hunting, shooting, or fishing travel service? And do you want to expand your international client base? Become a host on EagleReview.com. Join the fastest growing free online hosting community for hunting and fishing services in the world. Easily create your own page, and don't forget to share your best pictures and videos. On Eagle Review, you can share your contact information, your website, and links to your social media accounts so you can generate more traffic than ever before. After hiring your services, guests can leave reviews on your page to help you build a good reputation. Now that's marketing. No middleman. You are in direct contact with your clients. Need any help setting up your page? Our team of passionate hunting, shooting, and fishing enthusiasts are standing by to help you out. So go to EagleReview.com now and get started.
I'm Dean Stovall of Whitney's Almost Everything Outdoors. We are the premier guide service on Lake Whitney for striper fishing, hog hunts, duck hunts, and crappie fishing. We can sleep up to 30 people. Our house rental's just a short walk away from the water. A gift certificate for one of our hunting or fishing packages makes the perfect gift for that hard to shop for guy in your life. Go to WAEOutdoors.com and book your hunting fishing trip today.
Hot Shot Outfitters in Port Hope, Michigan is the destination for whitetail deer, crow, waterfowl, rabbit, predator, and turkey hunts. We have cabins, over 30,000 non-fenced acres, and a passion for delivering fair chase hunts to you and your family. Reserve your hunt at hotshotoutfitters.com today.
Hello and welcome back to the Greenway Outdoors podcast. I am excited because tomorrow we pick up our brand new 2019 Ram truck. Then Friday we drive up north. We're going to be with Ray and finally do the muskrat episode, which we talked about last week on the podcast. If you didn't listen, shame on you.
Go listen.
Go listen.
It was good. Ray talked about some good stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about the muskrat trapping. And he's like, yeah, we'll get a couple hundred. And AJ's like, we need 6 for footage.
Which we still can get 4. Who knows? Yeah. I don't listen.
But
I don't believe anybody.
There's a lot of them up there. I was surprised at what the numbers are, how many he takes, and how that doesn't even dent the population. And there's just that many, and he's helping farmers, and it's very bizarre.
I'm kind of excited to try one.
Yeah, me too.
And like use the fur for something. I want some gloves.
I want some gloves.
We got a couple hundred. We can make some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Who's eating the musk gland?
Yikes.
I'll just use it for perfume.
Rock, paper, scissors on who has to eat the musk gland. No, thank you. No, that's beaver. I don't know that it works on... they're very similar, but...
We'll try it.
Yeah, we'll try. I mean...
We'll just splash it on each other.
We don't have any luck with women anyway, so we might as well just throw something out there.
I like that. Yeah.
Jeff, for Thanksgiving, you did something that when I go out and hunt, the idea is I know that animal got to live a fulfilled life, and I didn't get attached to it. I actually think I may have trouble raising something and then butchering it and eating it. But Jeff, apparently you're the monster that doesn't care. So
that's what everyone says. They're like, how could you raise an animal and then kill it and eat it? And I'm like,
a turkey.
I didn't name it. It's not like, oh no, not Bernadette. I killed it.
Nice. If you get it with that
I named our turkey for Christmas, Howard.
I bought a turkey with the express intent of raising it for Thanksgiving. I wanted to have my own turkey. That again, I knew, similar to hunting, I knew.
That's because he's not good enough to hunt one.
Ha ha ha. I knew what it ate. I know that it didn't live in a little box like a lot of the ones that you get from the store. You know, it actually got the opportunity. I've got a pen in the backyard. It lived. You know, like I raised it.
It's expensive to feed that thing. You were getting frustrated.
I've got 10 chickens and then the one turkey. Well, no, I don't have the turkey anymore. And that one turkey would eat more than the other 10 chickens combined.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
How big did it get?
Well, when I killed it, I had to pick it up with 2 hands, and I had to, in order to pick it up.
So 10 pounds?
It was
nice. Nice.
I'm full of them.
That was great.
Probably close, somewhere between 40, 50 pounds.
A turkey?
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you just say?
40, 50 pounds?
I doubt that so highly.
That's
not
the
kidding.
dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's heavier than my dog. That's heavier than German Shorthairs.
Hey,
now we lose credibility on the show.
An average turkey,
No.
when you put it on the table,
No.
is 8 to 10 pounds.
Yep.
Yeah.
My turkey,
Did yours eat that one?
Yeah.
Twice?
literally it did.
I'm going to say that
My
thing was
turkey
25
was
pounds.
3 to 4 times the size of the one that my aunt put out for Thanksgiving, for her Thanksgiving.
Okay.
My turkey was at least 30 pounds.
So then
Okay.
you
Not
understand.
kidding.
30
Erroneous.
pounds.
30 pounds, that's
No,
more
I
believable.
believe 30.
I believe 30.
I don't believe
50.
double that. I don't believe double that.
Have you ever gutted a turkey before?
I've gutted a turkey.
You know how much the guts weigh plus the carcass?
30 pounds.
There you go. 20 pounds.
Okay, besides that,
So
how did the
anyways,
taste compare?
It was
that's a good question.
One of the best
Yeah, lie about that too.
poultries I've ever had. It's got to be. So it was big enough that I took each half, which was bigger than more meat than my
One half
aunt.
was 40 pounds.
Yeah. I got my 90-pound bird on the kitchen table.
One half of the turkey was bigger than my aunt's 8 to 10 pound turkey. So I took half of it. I did
You got it.
with
You
dry
can't ruin
rub.
Thanksgiving.
made her look bad.
All right, let's
Is she
move
even
on.
really your aunt?
Go ahead, Joe. No, we're all
So
eager.
I did half of the turkey in a sweet and smoky dry rub.
That sounds really good.
Delicious. I did the
Nice.
other half in a garlic butter.
Nice.
I injected it with garlic butter,
Nice.
so much so that when I put the thermometer in to check the temperature and pulled it out, it bled.
Why don't more people
garlic
do
butter.
that?
It went.
I love garlic
I wish
butter.
more
It
people did
was
that.
so. It was. It was.
Wish more people did
It was
that.
butter,
Sounds good.
garlic, oregano, Parmesan cheese, salt, pepper. Oh my God, was it good? Cut it open.
The thing is,
I still don't
number
believe
one,
anything will compare to the wings that we made.
Still
that one
reigning
time.
supreme.
Yes.
It had fat on it.
I made buffalo wings.
Which is,
out of
yeah,
turkey.
you cut it and it had fat under the skin, which normally you get the skin and it's just kind of slimy, whatever.
Well, I mean, the
That's it.
turkey weighed 190 pounds. That's got to come from
Champion
somewhere.
We started
turkey.
at 40 pounds. Now we're up to 200.
I wish I could. Do you have any left?
No, I don't have some in my truck right now that I was going to eat after the podcast.
That's gross.
Do you have the lemon? Not the lemon, the butter one?
No, I got dry rub.
I don't care then.
I was
I like
gonna-
the
I
dry-
was
that
gonna
one
share
sounds
it,
better
but
to
I'm
me.
only going to share it with AJ because he was at least reasonable.
We are in a full countdown now to January 10th, which is the premiere of our season 3 of the Greenway Outdoors television show on Pursuit Channel. You can find it on Dish, Direct, AT&T Uverse, Google Chromecast, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick,
Apple TV.
Apple TV.
of them.
It's built into
Vidillion.
Xboxes. It's on Vidillion. You can watch it on the mobile app. You can stream it on the internet. You can pretty much watch our television show. If you have a cell phone or a television or cable or even have a working understanding of the year of 2018, you can watch our show.
I'm sure the ISS could even pick it up.
We
in
will be
space.
on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. We are extremely excited to share with you our new episodes that we've worked really, really hard on, including the ones we've been talking about, the muskrat, the bear hunt, and everything else. Please go to our Instagram page, our Facebook page, our YouTube page, and watch for a big announcement that we have coming very soon regarding a new partner that we're really proud of. Thank you so
Very
much for
proud of.
very, very proud of. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Greenway Outdoors, and stay green.